invited us from Inspace over to talk to you today just to raise the profile of the space industry within this region and actually to raise the awareness of it and to help people to understand that there are lots of opportunities in this region that your students could be part of. I'm from Inspace Missions and we're a small company based down in Borden in Hampshire. So we're based Innovation Borden Centre there, some meeting spaces, and we've got a very small clean room that we've just put into place to build our first satellite. Although there's only 7 of us at the moment, we've got big plans for expansion and connecting up with lots of the other space companies within the region. And we've actually already got quite a wide global reach. You can see we're dealing with people all over the world. And again, thanks to digital connectivity, you're not having to do lots of travelling, you're doing a lot of working remotely and collaborative networking and work via computers. So if I move on to this. So you can see here, we're not particularly young, we are sort of a number of grey beards, so to speak. We've got over 100 years of space experience with us and we're connecting into lots of people we've worked with over the last 20 years in the industry. We are now looking at how we recruit and bring on the next generation of people. And my career journey in particular, I went through quite a traditional route, I would say, in that I went through varying degrees, looking into science and engineering till I found what I thought was the thing I wanted to do. I've had 20 years working down in Guildford at Surrey Satellite Technology Limited, where we worked on a range of things with people across the world, NASA, European Space Agency, UKSA, all sorts. And I've now been down in Borden working on what we're trying to do is bring space to more people. It's part of our lives now, but space is a tool that everybody can have part of. So it's about democratising space really and bringing it to a wider group. So that's just showing you, you can do anything from being hands-on in the clean room to looking at the data coming back down from the spacecraft, all the way to standing up a stage of a rocket and integrating a small satellite. There's been, that's not something I thought I would ever be doing, and it's, sort of open to everybody. So we're working on the Faraday 1 mission, which is about the size of an Xbox, packed with payloads from customers from around the world. They're quite small, some are software, some are hardware. But we're building it up in our clean room here. You can see it in its various stages. It's going for testing in this area again. So we've got test facilities down at Airbus in Portsmouth. We work closely with people in Farnborough and Guildford. So there is a big space community here. And we can use the facilities. We're not having to create everything from new. It's about using what's around, whether it's technology or test facilities, to actually create a low-cost space program. So you can get people doing jobs in space more frequently. Right, so payloads, just again to emphasise, we've got people coming to us from Europe, Canada, Australia for this first mission. Their payloads are being integrated into our spacecraft, down in Borden, right the way through to doing experiments with radio payloads. So again, we're working with big companies who want to work with us as an innovation partner, but also labs and smaller companies, and hopefully also we'll be engaging more with schools, providing competitions and ways for everyone to engage. So I'm not going to talk about this in detail, but just to say it's more than just a satellite. You've got to deal with, you go travelling around the world interfacing to launch facilities and rockets, but you've also got the whole ground segment element, so you're not just thinking about launch and building a spacecraft and testing a spacecraft, but you're also thinking about how you communicate with the ground, what you do with the data, how you process the data. So there's a huge range of skills and job opportunities within there. So, we're working with lots of people again all around the world who can make the mission happen. So moving on to one of the other things, so we're building small satellites fundamentally to do in-orbit demonstrations with companies and academia so that they can really use space as a tool. But we're also teamed up with Rewind, who's an immersive design studio, to try and bring together the best of space and the best of the sort of gaming and tech industry to give people real sort of VR experiences. Now initially we want to provide people that at home, but ultimately we want to take it into the classroom. So that, you can imagine you're in the classroom, you've got the globe and your students are interrogating that globe and they're pulling in data from different sources, and you're really having interactive sort of lessons. So that's one of the applications that we're working towards. And then also within business, if you're in government, you're having to make decisions, you're going into a disaster zone, you can actually tap in and virtually using real data, start to work out what your plan is. So we really see this as a massive way of bringing together many different skills and industries to provide services. So as I say, we've teamed up with Rewind to do this, and what we're starting now, on our first mission, we've got a little payload to start to demonstrate that, and the idea is that over the next few years we start to develop all these services. What do we need in terms of what skills do we need? Because there is a skill shortage in general, but I think the key point is tying into what everyone else has said today. There's actually scope for, you don't have to be, in inverted commas, someone that's seen as techie. You can be creative, you can be into engineering, you can be into science. There's a whole range. When you're looking at satellites and what they do, you might be someone who's interested in making use of the satellite data. You might be interested in weather forecasting or navigation or communications. There's a role in there for you. You might be interested in getting into the nitty-gritty, into the design, the engineering. There's a role in there for you as well. So I'm just listing off, you might want to actually use satellite data to reach out for flooding or for, I'm trying to think what else, we're looking at deforestation. So there's a huge range of things that you could do if you're into data or building or whatever. That's the key point we're trying to make here. Again, we've got people who are doing computer-aided design, and again, these are cross-sector skills. You could go into between aerospace or space or gaming. These are all things that are useful in general. So these are the things to let people know. They could be designing, if you're creative, you could be designing the next habitat for the lunar surface. If you're interested in solving problems, you could be working out how can I remotely get this to travel across Mars. So, you might be the person wanting to deal with a scientific experiment. So, or, we've got people who just like to work on the widget. They want to come in, they want to build the telescope bit, and they want to do the electronics for that. So, there's a huge amount that you can be doing. We've got people who actually, ex-military people as well as in good kung fu, they just want a set of instructions. They want to sit in the corner and they just want to do their soldering and get on with it, and there's a role for them. So, it's not, you don't have to always be this interactive system design engineer that's talking to everyone doing things. You can also be the person that codes in the corner. And I think that's an important message for people. There is a sort of a role for everybody. So software, again, another big area. I mean, it's the brains of the spacecraft. And again, to me, it's about language. If you're someone who likes to interpret how, what's going on here, how do I make it work on there? It's not, again, you shouldn't just think of it as, I need to be good at coding. It's actually, am I good at interpreting things? Am I good at explaining things and communicating things? There is a role for you in there as well. So again, and then the exciting bit that we like, and again, just to remind you, we can do this in your local area, building satellites, pulling it together, doing all the testing. You need to have an eye for detail, you need to be able to, work long hours. But if you're, it's a bit like that entrepreneurial mindset, you need to be there, it needs to get finished, the launch date's not moving. So, there is that sort of excitement and buzz that goes with it. So as I was saying, you need to sometimes be able to work alone, you need to be able to work as a team, but whatever your strength is, I think there are many opportunities within the space industry. And I think if you can think of it very much like we've heard the gaming sector described today, it's a massive industry. Actually, it brings in a lot of revenue and there are lots of jobs being created. It's actually growing as an industry. So really ask you to seriously think about encouraging your students to consider this as a career.